Born in Choma in 1957, Apostle Michael Milupi has dedicated his life to service in the New Apostolic Church. He was born in a family of 10 and received his sealing as a baby in 1958. Being a son to a government employee, he later moved to Sesheke, where he did his primary education and completed his secondary education at Kaoma Secondary School in Western Province. The apostle then joined the National Service and later trained as a secondary school teacher. His first assignment as a teacher was at Solwezi Technical Secondary School in 1979.
I was born in 1957, 5 December in Choma. That is where my father was working under Works and Supply. I did my education in Sesheke from grade 1 to grade 7. Then my secondary school at Kaoma Secondary School from Form 1 to Form 5. After which we did national service, and then I was accepted as under Nkrumah Teachers College in Kabwe, where I trained as a secondary school teacher, after which my first posting was Solwezi. I served in Solwezi up to 1986. Then I was promoted to go to Kasempa as a deputy headmaster, where I served under that school and ended up as the headmaster for the school. But in 1991, I decided to resign from the teaching service and joined the private sector under CUSA Zambia. And that is where I worked first in Eastern Province as a provincial manager, and then I was promoted as managing director here in Osaka. So in short, that is my career in the private sector.
In December 1983, Apostle Milupi married Esnat Milupi, with whom he had 4 children and 5 grandchildren. Born in the New Apostolic Church, the apostle remained dedicated to God's work. He was active in the youth movement and was appointed section leader. He received his first ministry in 1986 when he was ordained priest in Solwezi, a step he describes challenging.
Yes, my active participation in God's work, I would say, began in Solwezi, where I was a section leader. Those days we had very few ministers. So our branch at the secondary school was manned by us as brothers. We had only one priest who was manning about 5 congregations. So even services, you would start the service as a brother. The priest has to come afterwards to come and just bless the communion, forgive sins, and so on. So that is how we were operating our congregation at secondary school, Solwezi, until I was ordained as a priest in 1986.
3 years later, he was ordained as community evangelist in Kasempa, and in 1991, he became a shepherd. He later moved to Lusaka, where he was appointed rector for Libala congregation, and in 1997, he was ordained district evangelist for Libala Elder District. As a district evangelist, Apostle Milupi was instrumental in the activities of the district, and among the notables was the construction of Woodlands congregation. Apostle Milupi continued to grow in ministry with his ordination as bishop for Lusaka East Apostle area in 2000 by retired District Apostle Duncan Mfune in Malawi. 3 years later, he was ordained apostle in Brussels, Belgium by the 7th Chief Apostle Richard Fair. In his 19 years of service as an apostle, he has been actively involved in the growth of the new apostolic church in Lusaka East Apostle area. Throughout his journey as a minister, Apostle Milupi did not only touch the hearts of the members, but he has also been a family man.
Okay, my husband is a loving husband. So loving, good-hearted, and he's selfless. That's what I know about him. So loving and so selfless, as I told you. You'd rather suffer than the other people suffering. That's how he is.
I think our journey as the children, because there's this misconception saying, oh, children for the apostle and all that. But I think as our father, the apostle, he's been our pillar. We haven't had issues where he comes in and tells you, no, you shouldn't do this and do that. He'll give you advice. As a human being, it's up to you to choose your path. I think for that one, I respect him very much for that. It has not been where you just tell somebody, no, do this. No. He's been our pillar. He's always emphasized that despite me being an apostle, it's not guaranteed that as my children, you'll go to heaven. No. Each and every person, salvation is dependent on each and every person. So as an individual, you need to work hard in order for you to achieve salvation. I think on that one, we have been on point with him. Yes. We've supported him because, as you know, that ministry is very difficult. I think when you're in the background, you will not see how much sacrifice is being given. It's a point where you will see him, even in his health, he sacrifices. A point where he's down, but still says, I still want to go and do this. So, yeah.
Apostle Milupi did not work in isolation. He involved all the ministers for different activities such as church construction, choir, the youth and Sunday school movements. Bishop Micheal describes him as a guardian.
When I say he's a leader, I mean just that. There are a lot of things that we have learned from him. He's a parent who is able to guide. Even where you are wrong, he's able to guide on how to go about things. I'll also give an example in the area of the fellowships, our sisters' fellowships, popularly known as Riando Sisters, Riando Group. There are some of us who were not that keen to be very close to the fellowships as ministers, even now. But we were encouraged by the attendance of our dear apostle. as and when he did not have a program, and there is a program for Sisters Fellowship, our apostle will be there with our mother. That encouraged us quite a lot. Apart from that, our dear apostle enjoys vineyard. It's only that he has a lot of work in terms of district visitation. You find he goes for 2, 3, 4, 5 days. He comes back, he's tired. But where an arrangement had been made for him to visit a particular family, he has done that happily. In that area also, to be honest with you, he has always found joy, and he has taught us that regardless at which level you are, you must be close to God's children.
Apostle Milupi was instrumental in the growth of the youth movement with a number of programs designed for the young people and children. District Director Mubanga was once entrusted in this area by the apostle.
We were able to actually, under his leadership, we were able to record success in youth movement. Yeah, we remember at a particular time when there was a tournament between the 3 apostles. Yeah, that is under Apostle Munsaka by then, and also Lusaka West under Apostle Kalyango. Yeah, we managed the first. We had also to win the other trophies that were placed there under his leadership. And those are some of the important things that we were able to share with him.
The administration was straightforward, and you could know what was there. If you went wrong, he would openly tell you that you went wrong here and there, without beating about the bush. So this is straightforward administration that the shepherd or the rector had. When one is retired, I'm sure it becomes a big consultant. When people have problems and so on, he will freely give his advice as a consultant. This is what it is. And the other goodness now is we can visit him at any time without fear of being, maybe people will say, no, this person wants the ordination and so on. Now, it is easy to visit him. No fear.
Today, Lusaka East Apostle Area Choir and Orchestra is one of the biggest in DA 28 because of their outstanding performance, which has improved over the years.
Once again, for sure, the apostle has been very supportive in the choir circle. From the time I started working with him, 2016 as area music leader, I think the development has been very, very enormous. Yes, we have maybe gone almost, what can I say, 60% in terms of development. Because when we started this, when I started as area music leader with him, that was 2016. Of course, this we were asked to come up with how best this area can be effective in terms of music. the apostle asked, and we proposed to say we can divide this area into sub-areas, which he accepted, and then we divided it into 2 sub-areas. That was 2016, and but the demand for music was still there. The apostle still wanted some more because he was supportive in all areas of music. So in the process, after we divided this area into 2, where where I'm being assisted by Shepherd Matanda and Evangelist Womba, we thought we could still cut it in more pieces.
Other than the ministers, Apostle Milupi also interacted with the members in his apostle area at different levels.
Pamene waenda mu retirement, zoona retirement ngati wafikapo ni abwino. Retirement, pamene waenda mu retirement sikuti ntchito ya Mulungu basiya baleka. In fact, pamene ikulirako, because now bankhala ma backbenchers, bankhala manje woweluza, sibanaleke bakali kupitirira. Ndipo mu ntchito yawo mwamene omwe batate tibafunira ubwino, bamayi batate tibafunira chisomo cha Mulungu chikale na bebe. Mulungu abadalise, abasogolere. Let the Almighty God protect them, lead them, guide them, and guide them in their life ahead.
Yokondweresa olokwamene banali kusebenza olona kuchechi mwamene banali kuchitira konse yintu bana jinali jintu yokondweresa. Ine nikakambe chape mwamene bafuna kuchitira retire. Usoba na chochita jokamba sembe sigiti jinafika ntawe ya kuti muntu ajite retire. Sembe olo jinali kuvumelesa abantu bonse kuti yayi kambani. Mukakambe chape kuti imwe kwererani mwamene munayamba bintu bonse biyambe futi nyo. Biyambe nyo osati kuti tibwerere mu chikulupiriro chasu kuli bintu voti kalifya no. Tulale kufuna chape cha chikulupiriro. Olo Mulungu atipeze tili mu chikulupiriro. Na bana basu bonse tikitana usambira bwino bana basu mulandu wakuti niba mene lomba batulidinga bana basu. Mulandu bali banatenga icha mpamvu yamene tinali nayo yamene basogolere basu. Basogolere basu bonse banayigwoneka monga kaya ni masoja abuti.
To achieve all this, the apostle availed himself to God's work through humility and love.
For leaders, the most important thing is that this work that God has called us into, yes, we say it's voluntary, but at the same time, we must also stand and say, it is also becoming my promise. That is why when we come to the altar and we answer that yes at our ordination time, it is like a marriage relationship. God has chosen us, God is sending us, and therefore we should not feel that the work only deserves need 1% of our time. No. God's children need us, and sometimes when they get lost, as it says in the Bible, the Lord looks at us and says, behold, I sent you as watchmen on the walls of Jerusalem. So the soul care for our members is very, very important, and that should be an occupation in the heart of the young ones who are coming into these ministries.
With the successes cooped so far, there is no doubt that God's work will continue to grow in Lusaka East Apostle area with a strong foundation in upholding the mission and the vision of the new apostolic church. Apostle Micheal Zuma Milupi will be among the 5 apostles who will go into retirement on 1st January 2023 during the New Year's service to be held in Lusaka's Kabanana congregation.